Spyro the Dragon commercial. Okay, well that looks good. I'll know in 20 seconds when Spyro finishes here.
These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
My favorite part from the last episode was when he quoted part of the title sequence of...
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Discover new life and new civilizations.
It makes you wonder if it was ironic or just like...
Oh, yeah, what's up?
No man has gone before.
Looking good.
It's like that's just a thing that Kirk works into dialogue every now and then.
Load previously saved game.
Yeah, do that. Were we on streaming?
I believe...
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, we looked this up and we're mad, so here we go. Just witness the glory.
Now use your communicator, kid.
Scotty, I need a calculation from the main computer.
Well, I know the computers on the Enterprise aren't quite as good as her engines. I think she'll manage.
I am sending the problem.
Oh, that was too easy, Mr. Spock. The angle is 32.5 degrees.
Thank you, Mr. Selby.
So is there anything else you need, Captain?
Not now, Scotty. Kirk out.
I am now attempting to realign the device to 32.5 degrees. It should now be correctly aligned.
You need to go do it with the one on the left, too, or no?
I don't know. I'm gonna walk in here and see if I can do it here too. If I can, then I will.
That makes sense to me.
Captain, the parameters of this sensor have been preset.
Okay, whatever.
I suggest we do not change them.
There was only one that needed to be moved. Talk to that green man.
Thank you, Captain, for your aid in constituting my people and in the unexpected necessary realignment of our communications array. You have performed admirably. Of the 16 stations reporting at this point, there have been 50% fatalities, 30% other failures, and only 20% successes. One group got points for style.
Points for style? Is this some sort of game? Not another alien race with a superiority complex. Who are you this time? Your appreciation is welcome, but many questions remain unanswered. Points for style? Not. Your appreciation is welcome.
I am Sisissa, a projection of a synthesis of Azra and Visner. Clearly you know that the primitive life forms you have been dealing with are incapable of creating that in which you now stand. You will also note that the more demonic of the creatures displayed a passivity you did not expect, while the morally pure creature was aggressive and bloodthirsty.
The contradictions were noted and duly dealt with. I take it you were testing us on our ability to deal with disparate and contradictory inputs.
Yes, your reasoning ability was being tested, as well as your ability to adapt to new ideas when they conflict with deeply held beliefs and cultural customs. You passed quite admirably. The Brassica were impressed.
I'm not clear on who the Brassica are.
Captain, from this site, I can deduce various things about the Brassica. They are taller and more slender than we are. They are possessed of 3 fingers and a thumb on each hand. I suppose bilateral symmetry, and I know they possess greater visual acuity than humans. They visited this place well before humans had left the Cro-Magnon stage of development. And I note they have avoided detection by us, and presumably every other race in the universe, before they decided to send out signals to bring us to their bases.
Thank you, Mr. Spock.
And more you shall know as you continue on the quest. I wish you luck.
Kirk to Enterprise, Scotty, 4 to beam up.
Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end.
In this case, Bones, a new beginning. We were the midwives for the rebirth of a life form. 2 halves that have been made whole again. That's the way it was meant to be.
And let us hope that this is the end of Vincent John's prejudices.
We can all learn to stop judging people by appearances. Ensign Johns might have done well to remember the biblical representation of Lucifer, appearing in the guise of an angel of light.
You can never trust anybody, and people who look like pointy-eared hobgoblins are definitely at the bottom of the list.
It appears that Dr. McCoy did not learn the lesson of this mission either. Unfortunate, but not unexpected.
Fortunately, the Alphans and the Omegans learned philosophy and personal belief are not as easily divorced from logic as some would believe. We humans attain our greatest fulfillment when both of them are united.
Really, Captain?
Really? But I've had enough philosophy for one day. I'd rather worry about these Brassica and their cosmic quest.
Well, with me aboard, we're sure to get points for style.
Many questions remain unanswered, Captain.
And there's only one way to answer them.
Captain, message from Starfleet.
Bring it up, Lieutenant.
I reviewed your report from your recent assignment, Captain, and have a few comments. Well done, Kirk. Keep up the good work. I must say, however, your performance is not what we've come to expect from James T. Kirk. I guess we all have our off days, Captain. Kane out.
Ahead, Mr. Sulu. Warp factor 5.
Leaving orbit. Increasing to warp factor 5.
I like how we dragged Johns through the mud while he was just standing there on the bridge. Maybe next time Johns won't be such an ass.
Yeah, John sure didn't learn anything.
Logic suggests that they will present us with opportunities to come to them.
Captain, a message from Starfleet.
On screen.
Captain, the USS Regulus has been forced to cancel its survey mission to the Antares Rift. We've decided to redirect the Enterprise to that mission. The USS Hood will take over for your current assignment.
Of course, the Antares Rift has a rather dangerous reputation.
Nothing the Enterprise can't handle. But be careful. Starfleet out.
Antares Rift, an area of unstable space near the star Antares. Little is known of its properties. There have been numerous disappearances in this area.
The Hood? The Regulus? They didn't have time for that.
No. And neither do we!
Raising shields.
Dig out the old manual again. Why don't you talk about that last mission while I'm...
oh man, that mission was a piece of crap. Like... That's stupid.
Don't really care that Starfleet doesn't approve of my methods because, everything about that sucked.
Talk to people in the right order. You can only communicate to get the right thing in specific screens. Really obnoxious.
Shoot random rocks until you find one that's like, oh, this is the geothermal location.
Yeah, just miserable.
Antares Rift. Probably the one that looks like a rift.
Oh, I hope so.
You're invading Romulan space.
Oh.
Captain's log, stardate 6257.6. We have entered the Antares Rift and found spatial disruptions in the rift that make using warp engines extremely dangerous. Repairs are almost complete on the minor damage we suffered upon entry into the rift. We are continuing our survey using impulse engines.
My poor babies. Warp engines were meant to be used, Captain.
Communications are back online, Captain.
Deflectors at 93% power and increasing.
Captain, undoubtedly that phenomenon would explain many of the strange disappearances in this sector. Still, with our warp engines deactivated, our computers indicate we will be safe.
Boom.
Communications are out again, Captain. Is anyone hurt?
If he was human, Mr. Spock's pride might be...
Captain, sensors failed to indicate anything unusual prior to the explosion. I would speculate that it was caused by an extremely unusual rift in the space-time continuum. place where radically different physical laws apply.
And since it was different space-time, our sensors weren't programmed to detect it.
And it could happen again at any time without warning.
Weird.
Save new game.
Okay.
Replace.
Scotty, what's our status?
Very bad, Captain. Whatever hit the Enterprise hit us right in our own neighborhood. The hull is breached 6 meters from the bridge. Beyond that, the instruments are useless. I can't read or send anything through these controls. We'll need a starbase to make this bridge functional again.
Scotty, how about auxiliary control?
Captain, I cannot determine the status of anything beyond the place where the rupture occurred. The rest of the ship could be dead as far as we know.
Ideas, Mr. Walker?
I'm a security guard, sir, not an idea man. Still, if we could send out probes to detect these rifts, we might get a better idea on whether they're moving or not, and whether we should stop and make repairs or keep moving.
Status, Mr. Sulu.
Helm is not responding, Captain. The controls are completely dead.
Status, Mr. Chekhov.
Captain, navigation is not responding. The circuits are as lifeless as a Stalinist.
We need to make communicating with the rest of the ship our first priority. Any ideas, Lieutenant?
I was barely able to reroute the necessary connections last time, Captain. Communications are completely useless now. We may be able to enter codes into the library computer and instruct others to send messages to us.
Captain, I believe I may be able to adjust the sensors to detect these spatial rifts and pilot the Enterprise to avoid them. However, the sensors are too heavily damaged here. I will need to get to auxiliary control as soon as possible if I am to reroute the necessary systems.
Mr. Spock, the bulkheads were breached just outside of the bridge. No one's going to be able to leave the bridge for at least an hour unless they're transported out.
Okay.
The damage readout for the Enterprise has gone crazy. There are obviously problems with the ship's damage registers. Ship's short-range sensor display for the science station. Now all it is displaying is static. Mr. Spock is trying to determine a way to detect the rifts before the Enterprise is destroyed. This is the second time that hailing frequencies have gone down today. Lieutenant Uhura is not having a good day. Mr. Chekhov sometimes wishes he had a safer occupation, like handling antimatter. James Kirk worries about the safety of his ship. Mr. Sulu has complete faith in his captain, who has gotten them out of worse predicaments than this. Ensign Walker came to the bridge to discuss discrepancies in the last damage control report. He now wishes he was elsewhere. Mr. Scott wonders how he'll look like a miracle worker this time.
It's stuck. We're not getting out of here that way.
Okay. Well, it was weird that I moved and they all got up and followed me.
Yeah. Everyone is your party this time.
Captain, these controls are useless.
Captain, I am quite capable of doing my job.
Captain, I've already said they're useless. I might be able to employ backup systems from auxiliary control.
Captain, the library computer is online. Apparently, its circuits were shielded from the explosion. Captain, I have managed to program a message into the library computer. The first time a person accesses the computer, they will read our distress signal. Hopefully, they can code a reply into the computer, which we can access.
I guess like click on each person and have them do a thing at their station.
Captain, these controls are useless.
Sorry.
Captain, I've already said they're useless.
Maybe check off.
Captain, things look very bad. I can't get any of the controls to respond.
I don't know how to do that security officer's idea.
Helm still does not respond, sir.
He wanted to send out probes.
Yeah, and I don't know, like, how to make that happen.
Captain, things look very...
Talk Spock.
Captain, I believe I may be able to adjust the sensors to detect these.
Mr. Spock, the bulkheads were breached just...
No, I don't,
Did you use Kirk on the turbo lift?
I tried to walk to it.
It's stuck. We're not getting out of here that way. Captain's log supplement. Things are a complete mess on the bridge, with little immediate hope for improvement.
Well, I've been able to make Spock do a thing, and I made a captain's log.
Both important priorities.
Well, I don't know what to say. Like, Spock said, like, well, as soon as someone else does a thing, then maybe we'll get a distress signal. It's like, okay. So that means your plan is wait for someone to access the computer.
Do you have an inventory?
No. What do you think this is? A landing party?
No, I don't think that's necessary.
Captain, I am quite capable of doing my job.
Captain, I've already said they're you. Captain, I've already said.
We need to make communicating with the rest of the ship our first.
Captain, I believe I may be able to...
Mr. Spock. Any ideas, Lieutenant?
I was barely able to reroute the necessary connections last time, Captain. Communications are completely useless now.
Captain, I am quite capable of doing my job.
You can't do the codes thing you're talking about, Uhura? You're supposed to, like, use someone on someone else? No, that's not a thing.
What is the problem, Mr. Scott?
What is the matter, Mr. Scott?
Excuse me, Commander, but standard evacuation procedure recommends a half-meter spacing between individuals during an emergency.
Mr. Scott, can I help you?
Is there a problem, Mr. Scott?
So I can, like, use someone on someone else.
We are in a difficult situation, Captain, but I see no sign of panic. We are in a difficult... We are in a
Go ahead and have Spock try his station again.
Captain, the transporters are operational. I request permission to be transported, so I can begin the adjustments to sensors as soon as...
Go ahead, Spock.
Yeah.
No, Spock, I'll go first. Go ahead, Spock. No, Spock, I'll go first.
Should I go first?
Ooh.
Captain, that is not logical. You are too valuable to risk, and the situation calls for my intervention as soon as possible.
Spock's right, Captain.
Very well.
I just lost points. Starfleet.
Spock.
Uh-oh.
That seemed good.
I can take care of that, Captain.
Alright.
I guess Sulu's the next guy.
Yeah.
I'm patching your log into the computer. You should have voice messages.
Oh.
Captain, we've managed to jury rig an evacuation tube through the bridge turbo lift. We should be able to keep it stable long enough for you to be evacuated.
I guess you're going through that turbo lift? Okay. Okay.
So auxiliary control.
Uh-huh.
Captain's log. After equipping ourselves with tricorders and phasers, we are now searching for a way to find Spock and return him to us. I've determined that the best place to start...
Oh, no!
Captain, it's a very good thing we took the warp engines offline.
How bad is it, Scotty?
That explosion was 42% stronger than the one that struck near the bridge. Our left warp cell is crippled, Captain.
I hope it's not a trend. Keep me posted, Mr. Scott. Kirk out. Our highest priority is control of the sensors. We must find Spock.
I'll handle it, Captain. Remember, I was the physicist when I first joined the Enterprise.
Ah! Captain, look!
A strange alien.
Captain, what happened?
It appears our alien friend likes his privacy.
The Cossacks have locked the door, Captain.
This panel doesn't seem to be working.
The alien has thought of everything.
We could bring down a phaser welder and force it open.
We don't have the time, Mr. Sulu.
Scan it.
Get your head out of the way, Chekhov.
Can't help his boyish good looks being in the way.
Captain, there's some sort of barriers on the walls and the doors. Our sensors cannot penetrate it.
Captain, the doors are programmed to automatically shut down if phasers are used on the controls. That won't work.
It was a valiant effort, though.
This screen shows the layout on this deck. The door directly... The deck integrity monitor. Now, Hikaru Sulu has seen more than one attempt by aliens to take control of the ship, and they've always failed.
That's true.
Alright, well. This is a times thing. It's not going well so far.
Well, Jim, I leave you alone for 5 minutes and look at the mess you've made. Jim, what is going on out there?
Spock is gone, Bones. He was transporting off the bridge, and then he vanished, and then this alien appeared in auxiliary control.
An alien kidnapped Spock? Why?
I don't know, Bones.
Jim, I'll need a medical scan of the alien if I'm to do anything. Leave my equipment alone. If things don't improve, I'll be needing it soon. Leave my Jim, I'm waiting for that medical scan.
We're trying.
Jim, I'm waiting for that medical scan.
We're trying.
Robot Dr. McCoy!
Hello, Doctor. Nice weather, isn't it?
You're a navigator, not a conversationalist, Ensign.
Yes, I am.
Cold.
And an unappreciated navigator at that.
If we keep having these random explosions, Doctor, I'm afraid your sick bay is going to be overflowing.
I thought you were a helmsman, not the bearer of bad tidings.
I do many things well, Doctor.
Don't worry, Doctor. I'm all right. You don't need to treat me.
Then why are you here?
I'm just with the captain. I'm feeling great. You don't have to...
That's fine, Lieutenant.
Well, Bones, it looks like we have to save Spock in order to save the Enterprise.
That's a tough choice, Jim.
Sickbay was super cool.
Go to engineering. That's got to be good, right?
I feel like, isn't that not how the turbolift works?
Oh, I have no idea how the turbolift works.
Captain, where would you like to be transported?
Send us to sickbay, Mr. Kyle. Send us to engineering, Mr. Kyle. Send us to auxiliary control, Mr. Kyle. We'll transport later. Send us to auxiliary.
Yes, sir.
You didn't seem comfortable with that.
No, he didn't.
Energize.
Ooh, scan that alien with the medical scanner.
Captain, I'm getting a sensor reading on the alien. I'm sure Dr. McCoy will find this data interesting. What again?
Jim, we've got to get out of here.
We need to get Spock back.
I should have known the Spock would be good for something someday. Now the day has come, and he isn't here.
Young human male in average physical condition.
Here's the sensor scan, Bones.
Jim, this says our invaders are Vaurians.
Vaurians? But they're extinct. They died out at the time that Cochrane invented the warp drive. They were slaughtered in the Three Systems War.
Jim, I know my history, but I also know my anatomy. The alien in auxiliary control is a Vaurian. There's only one strange thing.
What's that?
This creature isn't capable of doing some of the things that you described. It's an ordinary Vaurian. No special organs, no unusual brain patterns, nothing that traditionally suggests superhuman feats.
Can you neutralize it, Bones?
Actually, it's a female. And yes, I know of something that can incapacitate it without harming it. A gas mixture. You'll have to pump large quantities into auxiliary control for it to be effective, but it should work almost immediately. Here's the gas, Jim. Be careful with it. There hasn't been a Vaurian in 150 years. Jim, do I look like a Vaurian to you?
Well, yes, you do. It's not bad music.
Captain, where would you like to be transported?
Send us to sickbay. Send us to engineer. Send us to auxiliary transport. Send us to transport later.
Dang it, Mr. Kyle.
Captain, there has been an explosion near the shuttle bay. I'm fine. There has been no significant damage.
Any luck communicating with Starfleet Command?
I have made contact with the light cruiser USS Jefferson, sir. It will reach the edge of Antares Rift in 16 hours. The rift is playing havoc with communications.
Thank you, Lieutenant Kirkout.
Captain, I got bad news for you. This rift is affecting the hull of the ship. Our hull integrity is dropping fast.
How bad is this, Scotty?
It's at 92% and dropping rapidly. According to our system specs, if it drops below 63%...
Put as much power as you can to the shields. Use them to support our hull integrity. Divert as much power as you can to the sensors. Let's find out what's causing this. Evacuate all people from the outer decks. Divert power from life support on those decks evenly to shields and sensors. Put as much power. Divert as much power.
What do you think the answer is? I'm leaning towards 3.
Evenly to shields and sensors. Put as much power as you can to the shields. Divert as much power as you can to the sensors. Let's find out what's causing. Evacuate all people from the outer decks.
I was going to do all power to sensors,
evenly to shields and sensors.
But diverting it evenly could work.
Captain, that'll only add about 2% to the shields and sensors.
Do it, Mr. Scott.
Aye, Captain.
Okay. Maybe if you told me that, then I would have made more informed decisions.
Captain, is it too late to put in a request for an early retirement?
Scotty, if we hit any more of these random detonations, it'll be mandatory retirement for all of us.
Actually, Captain, I was hoping for a better pension. I do not know what you've got there, but I've smelled Klingon nerve gas with a better bouquet.
No effect. No effect. No effect.
Like
I thought that gas was supposed to go in the atmosphere pump and engineering.
Oh.
I kind of thought that when I was standing engineering. He's like, am I supposed to use the gas here?
Okay. Where's the atmosphere pump?
Who cares? I'm just gonna grab this gas and start using it on everything.
Not in there, Captain. Put the gas in the life support pump, then use the controls. Captain, let's not be fooling around with the deflector controls. Captain, let's not be fooling around with the gravity controls. Captain, I may only be chief engineer, but I do not see what benefits that an alien nerve gas can have on our impulse controls.
Captain, I don't think that gas was meant to be used on the impulse engines.
Not in there, Captain. Put the gas in the...
Okay.
Life support controls. Life
You're making me
support.
fucking click on
Life
everything
support,
to figure out
life support,
where I'm supposed to use this
input
gas.
Engine fuel control systems. This is deflector control grid. Deflector control. Artificial gravity control. Artificial gravity. Impulse engine fuel.
Wasn't like the first thing you clicked on? Life
No.
support?
Life support
Yeah.
control systems.
Yeah.
This model.
And what does Scotty say? No, don't do it there.
Not in there, Captain. Put the gas in the life support pump, then use...
Okay, so those are the controls for the life support.
You want to tell me where the pump is?
Maybe it's those wheels over on the far right. No. Okay. Maybe it's
This
one of
device
those.
stores special chemicals that are pumped into the ship's
Oh,
atmosphere.
there you go.
I wish Dr. McCoy had given me the specs on that gas injection system. It looks like a rather clumsy fit.
I'll do it, Scotty.
You'd think that Dr. McCoy would have some respect for engineering.
Let's see how our alien friend likes Dr. McCoy's medicine.
Probably as much as we do, Hikaru.
Mr. Kyle, can you transport me to auxiliary control?
Aye, sir. But I have to remind you how dangerous intership transporting can be. We've really been pushing our luck today.
I'm aware of that, Mr. Kyle, but we have to take the risk.
Look, something's happening.
A warp impulse energy efficiency diagram. This is the auxiliary.
These readings look normal to me. This looks like a normal course, right, Pavel?
Normal. It's an excellent course. The same one I entered before the alien came on board the ship. Captain, everything looks fine. Our course and speed are unchanged. Our weapons are online should we need them.
That's odd. Captain, why would an alien take minimal control of the Enterprise and leave its weapons intact? If only we had a target to fire upon.
That's odd. All systems look normal. The aliens haven't touched navigation. What's going on?
The dilithium crystal lattice monitor. Dilithium crystals are at 89% efficiency. This is below the optimum range, but still acceptable. This station is identical to the bridge's engineering control, allowing access to damaged control systems and emergency power and internal sensors.
Everything seems... Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
You better take a look yourself, Captain.
It's really weird that they didn't animate anybody to sit down or whatever.
This station is identical to the bridge's engineering control, allowing
Everything seems... Uh-oh.
Captain, the Cossacks have definitely been at work here.
Now that's strange. Captain, take a look and see if we
Everything seems to be working except for internal sensors.
This station is identical to the bridge's engine.
I recommend we use the auxiliary control sensor to see where the alien went.
I was hoping the alien would have been more communicative. Why hijack a ship that's already about to be destroyed, then kidnap a single individual, and then say nothing about why you are aboard?
It certainly seemed to have the power to destroy us. Why didn't it just kill us?
I don't know, gentlemen, but we'll find the answer soon, I promise.
You know, this mission has killed any ambitions I might have had about commanding a starship.
We have to find out where that alien went. It's the only way to save Spock. Everything seems to be working except for internal sensors.
Captain, we can't affect the dilithium monitor. It's only a readout of the lattice efficiency and stability. Captain, the diagram cannot be adjusted except by changing the use of the warp and impulse engines.
That's all. All systems look normal. The aliens haven't touched the helm. That's odd. All systems look normal. The aliens haven't touched navigation. What's going on? Everything seems to be working. Library computer.
Oh, okay.
External sensors. Mr. Sulu, see if you can find
Yeah.
where Florian went.
That's what I was
Maybe
gonna say.
that
Have
will lead
Sulu
us to
check the
Spock.
library.
Captain, I'm detecting the Vurian. She seems to have vanished through a rift in space. I have the coordinates of her last known location. Nothing to report, Captain. Everything seems to be working. Captain, we have the coordinates to find the Vurian. Why are we wasting time?
Mr. Kyle, you have the coordinates where the alien teleported?
Captain, you're asking me to transport you into another dimension. I may not be able to lock onto you there.
I'm aware of the risk, Mr. Kyle. You have your orders.
Aye, sir.
Energize.
Turn that light on.
Captain's personal log. I have transported to many strange places in my day, but beaming into an alien dimension is something entirely unique. Only the extreme risk to my ship and my friend Spock would cause me to take such a drastic risk.
This doesn't look like a nice place to visit.
There's the Vurian. I don't see Spock.
He's got to be around here somewhere.
Oh, like with that alien just kind of flopping around.
Strange boulders jut from the depths of this strip. A pile of blue stones. This blue gem looks something like a sapphire, but requires... This bright green gemstone looks like... This gem-like stone has... This dull yellow gem... This red gem-like stone... Strange boulder... Strange A Vurian. The alien doesn't... Lieutenant Sulu. This place is one of the most foreboding that he has ever seen. Ensign Walker. He wonders why his parents had to call him Angus, of all things. Ensign Chekhov. He wonders whether he's going to live long enough to reach the rank of lieutenant. James T. Kirk. He has seen strange places before, but never anything like this.
I think he's seen a few things like this.
What are we doing here? Why did we come here?
Captain?
There's no way back. We'll never find Spock. We're trapped here forever, and it's all my fault. I knew the Antares Rift was dangerous. I should never have let the ship go in there.
Captain?
But let's find Spock. Why are you reaching for your phaser, Mr. Sulu?
Captain.
Walker, I saw you sneaking up on me.
Sir.
You're all against me. You've gotten rid of Spock, now me. Who's next? Scotty, Uhura? Or are they part of this too?
Captain, snap out of it.
Something is definitely wrong. Such intense emotions. Don't worry, Mr. Walker, I'll protect you.
Sir?
Sulu, Chekhov. You know, I may never have told you this before, but I care for you all more than I can tell. Sulu, with your dedication, your unwavering sense of responsibility...
Captain, are you talking about me?
Checo, I've always been impressed by your enthusiasm. All those wonderful Russian jokes. Your humanity.
Captain?
And you, Mr. Walker, with your rugged determination. I'll bet you had more girlfriends than anyone in the history of the Academy.
Actually, sir, I'm celibate.
What was I just saying? This place reminds me of Deneva. I lost my brother there. He was a few years younger than I was, and there were times when he annoyed me.
Captain?
And now he's gone. Gone. I'll never see him again. Never tell him... Tell him...
Captain, snap out of it.
This place must be getting to me. I heard that, Mr. Sewell.
I didn't say anything.
You've always been saying things behind my back. You've always said I don't have enough discipline, that I don't respect my crew. You're insubordinate, Mr. Sewell.
Get hold of yourself, Captain.
What on earth was I saying? I'm sorry, Mr. Sewell. That was not...
Captain, I think we better get out of here as soon as possible.
I'll get them, Captain.
Uh-oh.
Wait, we need something to handle them with. Mr. Walker, handling single stones produced intense emotions. A cache of these stones...
You're right, sir.
But for sure, Mr. Walker's gonna like pick up a bundle of them and just be toast. Like, oh no, Mr. Walker, I'm so sorry.
Scan that alien.
Oh, no, it just happened.
Captain, there's nothing there for us to exist. The void is like a nothing. Neither matter, nor energy, nor space, nor time, nor the absence of any of these. It's a female of its race, Captain. I'm afraid my tricorder doesn't have much information on Vurians. Captain, I'm detecting a large quantity of these blue stones underneath the surface in this spot. That's interesting. These stones check out as organic matter.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with them.
Nothing's wrong with the medical tricorder.
The stones are organic, Captain. My tricorder detects intense psionic energy from them. No effect, Captain. I don't have enough knowledge of Vurian anatomy. Young human male...
Starfleet. What a career move. I really have been where no man has gone before.
I hope the inhabitants of this dimension don't mind visitors.
Let's find Spock and get out of here quickly.
You aren't scared, are you?
Not at all. The Russians are just an efficient and very sensible people.
I wonder how many other universes like this one exist, connected to ours by a thread.
According to Professor Tomau's theory, that would be dependent on the number of dimensions shared by the two universes.
But Professor Ondiango's theory would contradict this.
Ondiango has never proven his theory.
But Tomau's theory doesn't explain slingshot effects.
Gentlemen, it was a rhetorical question.
You get no response.
Greetings, Lord Kirk. I am Eminata. I regret the discomfort that I put you through on your ship. I wish only to preserve my joy by serving the Savant.
Are you willing to help me, Eminata? Where is Spock? How did you come to be here? What were you doing on my ship? Are you willing to help me, Eminata? Where is Spock? How did you come to be here? What were you doing on my ship? Are you willing to help me? Where
I
is
think
Spock?
there's a good chance we're going to ask all of these.
How did you come to be here?
I was a lone soldier, fleeing the massacres that followed the Three Systems War. I was heavily outnumbered. In desperation, I attempted to use my son's gravity well to propel my ship into a high warp velocity, so I could escape the pursuit.
I remember reading about that war in my history class at the Academy.
I was warped into the Antares sector. I traveled through a dimensional rift into this place. The Savant sustained me and gave me joy where there was once only despair. I have been here ever since. The Savant is now summoned, Lord Kirk. He awaits, not many footsteps from here, by the fountainhead. Seek him.
Are you willing to help me, Eminat? Where is Spock? What were you doing? Are you willing to... Where is Spock?
The Lord Spock is not far. His mind dances in the bliss of this place. He would welcome you. It is not a long or difficult search to find him. The Savant awaits. I am unimportant compared to him. Go to him at once.
I will. You are the last of your race. Can you talk about the Savant? Give us a chance to know what to expect.
Nothing I can say will truly prepare you for what awaits.
Are you willing to help me, Eminata? What were you doing? What were you doing on my...
The Savant empowered me to remove any psionically adept being from your ship, and to prevent you from following him. It was not our intention to do you harm. The Savant awaits.
I will. You are the last of your...
Physical forms are unimportant. A species is only a similarity of material form, constructed from genetic instructions. Only emotions matter.
Are you willing to help me, Eminata?
Possibly. I am aware of your ship's distress. I can bring it to the attention of the Savant. It may help.
Actually, I was thinking more about freeing Spock. What is the Savant? I would appreciate... Actually, I would appreciate the Savant being informed. Actually, I was thinking more about freeing Spock.
I would say 3 over that.
I would appreciate this.
It is done. The Savant awaits. The Savant awaits. I am unimportant.
I will. You are the last. Can you talk about the Savant? I will.
Good luck, Lord Kirk.
Are you willing to help me, Eminata?
Possibly. I am aware of your...
Actually, I was thinking, what is the Savant? I would appreciate this. Actually, what is the Savant?
A being found that the physical form impaired his emotions, and so he discarded it as a lord discards his raiment. An entity of great benevolence and joy. Through my psionic talents, we are linked in ecstasy eternal.
Where is this Savant?
Everywhere. When one is an entity, one transcends the limitations of space, time, and dimension. But the Savant prefers to center its thoughts at the fountainhead, which is quite close.
I am the Savant. I wish you and all entities nothing but joy.
Is this Star Trek 5?
Who are you?
Yeah.
Why do you ensnare others against their will? Release Spock at one. Who are you? Why do you who are you?
Once, eons ago, I was akin to you. A creature of flesh and pain. But I released myself from these bonds and became an entity of pure emotion. And I came to this place to find a shelter from the cares of the universe.
A pouch from the Vorian life support capsule. Strange boulders jut from the depths of this strange planetscape. The remains of a Vorian life support capsule. The remains of a The Savant. The remains of a Vorian life support capsule.
Captain, you misunderstand me. It is not my will to bring harm to any creature. I have taken 2 creatures that are without the most important thing in existence, joy, and given it to them in infinite variety and abundance. The Vurian was filled with despair at the death of her race. She was overwhelmed by sorrow and grief. I have healed her of these afflictions forever. As for the Vulcan, he has been conditioned to deny his emotions. I am bringing him in contact with a part of himself that will enhance his life. It is a gift of love.
You have no right to inflict emotions on any being, regardless of how positive you may think them to be, without their consent. Get a life. You can't just sit around feeling happy for eternity. What does that accomplish? Love? It's Spock doesn't want your gift. He doesn't need your gift. Release him and let us return to our ship. You have no right to inflict emotions on any being, regardless of how positive you may think
You
them
want
to
me
be,
to tell them to
without
get a
their
life
consent.
or just this one?
He's going to do one.
I give them an eternity of joy. Is that not every creature's desire? How can granting a subliminal desire be beyond my rights?
That is the most arrogant piece of presumption I've ever heard. An eternity of joy. And I suppose you derive no benefits from the people you hold prisoner. Do you honestly believe that because what you do may benefit them, that the ends justify the means? That is the most arrogant. An eternity of joy. And I suppose you derive no
2 or
benefits
3.
from the people you hold prisoner.
3.
Do you honestly believe that?
Yes, Captain. For such a great good as that which I provide, the ends do justify the means. I will send you back to your own ship and give you safe passage through the Antares Rift if you wish. Welcome. Have you come to ask for transportation back to your ship?
Not without Spock. Savant, isn't there anything I can release Spock or we not without Spock?
Captain, why do you begrudge your comrade's newfound happiness?
Because it was not his doing, nor his choice. Because he's being used by you and held against his will. He has duties and obligations, and you're keeping him from them. Because it was not his doing, nor his choice.
1 or 3.
He has 3?
Because he has...
Even over the course of a short period of time, Captain, duties and obligations have little meaning.
You don't want to go get that bag full of blue rocks first?
Spock, what have they done to you?
Fascinating. Emotional intensity at a previously unknown level. Our link with the Savant acts as an amplifier. The more minds in union with him, the greater the level of emotion. And happiness is a powerful emotion.
Spock, do you want this?
Happiness is a human desire, Captain. I am a Vulcan. I want to be free of emotions. This is the antithesis of my desires.
Spock!
Stun him. Scan that entity.
Well, hand me some fruit snacks.
Yeah, for sure. Here are a couple things of fruit snacks for you, sir. This episode is brought to you by Fruit Snacks.
I'll get them, Captain.
I'll get them, Captain. Ensign Walker, no!
I've put them in the pouch we found. Boy, am I getting an odd feeling from these stones.
Throw a fruit snack on the floor.
Delicious.
Yeah, it's fine. Alright.
And you're gonna like dump the stones in where he's at?
Yeah, I was thinking I was gonna like huck them at him. Seems like he's probably gonna sprint directive.
Prime Directive's pretty overrated.
I shall try to tell you what I know. The emotions make it difficult to communicate. The creature that has done this is called the Savant. A being of great power that has transformed itself into a creature of living emotion. It can form a link with any creature with psionic abilities, including Vulcans. into latent emotions and amplifies them, using them to increase its emotional stability.
What happens if it gets cut off from you on the Vurian?
It would be alone, but could cope. We enhance its enjoyment, but we are not essential to its survival. We're like a backup system. It relies on us for emotional support, but it could exist without us.
Medical scan him.
Save new game. Replacement.
Captain, Mr. Spock is normal, except for accelerated brain activity in the areas of his brain that control psionic abilities. He is currently in a mind meld. Does not register as a life form, Captain.
Captain, the readings are incomprehensible. The tricorder has no idea what all these waveforms represent.
Disturb my rest. Fortunately, I am not alone in bliss. Do not use such a tactic again on me. I warn you. What is this? What am I feeling? What have you done?
What's the matter, Savannah? Not feeling those good vibrations? Life isn't all happiness and joy. It's time you experienced a reality check. Is that sadness you're feeling, Savannah? It couldn't be that those inferior humans have outwitted your great wisdom, could it? What's the matter, Savannah? Life isn't all happiness and joy.
No, they're good.
I have spent millions of years trying to escape the anguish. Misery is the destroyer of worthy souls, Captain, and you are destroying me.
I'm not destroying you. Your own unwillingness to respect others is destroying you. Free Spock and return us to our ship, and this will end. I didn't want to do this, but if I have to destroy you to free my friend, I will. I'm not destroying you. Your own unwillingness to respect others is destroying you.
I guess.
Am I really such a monster that I deserve such pain?
You have lost respect for others, Savant. Everyone may have different goals, different ideals than you, and you have the right to pursue them. You need to respect their free will, even if it makes them miserable.
You do not understand me, Captain, but I am in no mood to argue. You and your scientist may be freed. Enjoy your universe, Captain Kirk.
Captain's log. We are out of the Antares Rift and are on our way to Starbase 8, where the Enterprise has extensive repairs scheduled. All crew members, including First Officer Spock, are safely aboard.
So, Spock, you mean you had an eternity of pure enjoyment and you gave it up?
Affirmative, Doctor.
That has to be the most illogical thing I've ever heard. Humans spend their entire lifetime dreaming of an eternity of pleasure.
As do animals in the field. Perhaps humans are meant to be better than that. Perhaps we should dream of greatness, not simple gratification.
Greatness is a term subject to individual interpretation, Captain. The savant viewed the pursuit of greatness as useless, because all great deeds and accomplishments are destined to be forgotten in cosmic terms.
A cosmic being thinks in cosmic terms, Spock. But somehow that philosophy overlooks a lot of life's little pleasures. There's just one thing that bothers me about the whole thing.
Really, Doctor?
Spock finally got to enjoy himself, and I wasn't there to see it. Now that's something worth remembering.
Message from Starfleet Command.
On screen.
I reviewed your report from your recent assignment, Captain, and have a few comments. Well done, Kirk. Keep up the good work. I must say, however, your performance is not what we've come to expect from James T. Kirk. I guess we all have our off days, Captain. Kane out.
Okay, I don't know.
Museum piece.
How long until we reach Nova Atar, Ensign?
About 23 hours, Captain.
22 hours, 53 minutes, and 17 seconds to be precise.
Spock, there's no need to be precise. We're going on shorely. Rest, relaxation, no calls from Starfleet.
Message from Starfleet.
Captain, we have a message coming in from Admiral Richards at Starfleet.
On screen, Lieutenant.
Hello, Jim. I know you're going on shortly, but...
What is it, Chris?
Well, since you're going there anyway, and it's only a small favor...
Favor?
I don't want to inconvenience you, but...
Fine, you have it. What would you like me to do?
We recently discovered that one of the exhibits in the Smithsonian Annex at Nova Atar is of great historical significance to the Soransi, an influential family from planet Lockheed. The museum is going to have a small ceremony to return the item. The Federation planned to send a representative, but, well, she couldn't make it. Since you'll be in the neighborhood, well, don't dress uniforms. All you have to do is smile and shake hands.
Smile, shake hands. It would be my pleasure, Admiral. My chief engineer had already promised to show me around. We'll be there.
Thanks, Jim. I owe you one. Check your data files for details. Oh, one more thing, Jim. Due to the security concerns, you won't be allowed to bring any electronic equipment with you. Richards out.
Now, I was saying...
Captain, do we really have to stand around and listen to speeches from a bunch of politicians?
It won't be all bad, Scotty. The curator's a major cognac producer, and he asked us to show up early to thank us for our support.
Captain, it'd be rude to keep a man like the curator waiting, what with an important diplomatic function to prepare for.
Lakian. Nova Atar.
Soransi, a large influential extended family among several controlling Lockheed. Cross-reference entry, Lockheed. Lockheed. Governed by large extended families, the inhabitants of this world escaped a dying planet several generations ago to relocate to Lockheed. After a troubled period of re-establishment of their culture and industrial base, the Lockheeds recently petitioned for admittance into the Federation. Nova Atar, a Federation system whose third planet, Nova Atar 3, is the home of the Smithsonian Annex for this sector of the galaxy. Nova Atar is renowned for its rich collection of artifacts. Smithsonian Annex. Location, Nova Atar, a large museum annex with exhibits ranging from some of the earliest technology in the galaxy to the most recent declassified recoveries of salvaged Klingon wreckage. The museum administration bans equipment from being brought into the museum. A force field also protects the museum from an intruding transporter beam.
I think that's it. Shields.
Raising shields.
Nova Atar.
Real quick, I'm gonna glance to see like what I should have done in the previous mission. Use the communicator, talk to Scotty. Use the communicator, talk to Uhura. Use the communicator, talk to Bones. What? Why? Choose option. Use the communicator. Choose option 4 to talk with the computer. Research Vurians, Vega 3, and Toshi. 3 Systems War. So I had the option to do research in the middle of that mission.
Sure.
While my ship was under fire.
Yeah.
And it acted like it was being timed. Seems like all the time I was supposed to stop and use the communicator to talk to everyone.
Yeah.
For status updates. Talk with Spock. Talk with Spock again. 1. Again. 2. Again. 3. Again. 4. Go to Savant. So I was supposed to talk to Spock 5 times?
Checks out, though.
In your inventory, use the blue stone on the red stone, yellow stone, orange stone, and then the green stone. Use the red stone on the yellow stone, then the orange one, then the green one. In your inventory, proceed to use the yellow stone on the orange one, then on the green one. In your inventory, use the orange one on the green one. Return to Savant. Speak with Savant. 2, 3. Use the blue stone on Savant, then the red, yellow, orange, green, and finally the pouch.
Okay.
So there's a whole thing going on there with like...
Where you were supposed to make him feel like paranoid and whatnot by throwing different stones at him. And then dump all of the stones in there, and he'd be like, no, now I'm sad.
So, just... Apparently you could just skip everything and just have no puzzle whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's get where we're supposed to go. Which is Nova Atar.
The gray star at the bottom left, it looks like.
We've arrived at Nova Atar, Captain.
Bring us into standard orbit, Mr. Sue.
Aye, Captain.
Shields went down. Now they're back up.
Save new game. Replace previous game.
Stream 2.
Beam down. Are you done?
I was thinking about quitting, yeah.
We can quit this.
Mr. Chekhov, come with me, Mr. Spock. You have the call.
Oh man, we're taking Scott and Chekhov.
Dope.
Captain Kirk, good to meet you. I am Boris Brezhnev, curator of the museum. Everyone is buzzing about visitors from the Enterprise. A real feather in my cap.
The pleasure is ours, sir. This is my chief engineer, Mr. Scott, and Ensign Chekhov, our navigator.
Most pleased to meet you both. Chekhov, a fine name. Certainly you'll be interested in sampling the Kazakhstani cognac, distilled and blended by my family. In fact, I will later show you my most prized possession, a bottle of our finest vintage, aged 14 years from our very first press.
But isn't cognac French?
Originally, Mr. Scott. But before my ancestors came to settle this planet, they went to Cognac and purchased scottings, brought them here, and made enhancements. You could say we reinvented Cognac. I do not wish to be rude, but you gentlemen are a bit early, and I must see to making certain the cleaning crews are finished working. Please, feel free to look about a bit. I will page you later, and maybe you will join me in a small toast before the ceremonies. Yes.
It would be our pleasure, curator.
I told you we invented it.
Maybe we were a little hard on you, laddie.
Never doubted you for a second, Mr. Chekhov. Now let's take advantage of this time and look around.
Great.
Save new game. Replace pre.
Alright.
Here we are in a museum. I don't... Like, I don't really understand the purpose of having a puzzle that you can just completely skip with, like, what is the simplest step. Other than, like, if you're super motivated to, you go back and try again and do something else. If you, like, ended it and went, oh, they gave me a bad score, but, like, it seems weirdly counterintuitive to the genre of the game to just be like, oh, here's this thing, it's just right in front of you, just go do this.
Just do all of it at once,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was odd. I think probably they just, like... They must have just programmed, like, this is the end solution, but they expected you to, like, do all the other steps along the way when you came in, like, that first time, to start throwing stones in there and to figure that out that way. Where we just jumped right to, yeah, we're going to throw this big bag of rocks in here.
We have apparently 2 more missions left. And, are you looking forward to them?
Oh, I can't wait to, probably, you know, take these...
Wander around a museum for a while.
Probably vandalize the museum. We're probably going to have to take crap apart and, like, kit bash equipment. Don't you think that's what's going to happen?
Man, I don't know anymore.
Oh, man. Like, 100% you're going to, like, fiddle around with that gun and, like, break a part off of it.
Report to the curator's office, please. Captain Kirk and party, please report to the curator's office.
Well, now we know that that's a thing. That
Yeah,
just, like,
there's a timer.
I enjoyed your tour, gentlemen. Please join me. Would you mind if the first toast with the Kazakhstanian was to the Enterprise?
Curator, why isn't that Brezhnev cognac?
For heaven's sakes, Chekhov, don't interrupt a man on the verge of toasting the best ship in the fleet with the finest cognac on this side of the galaxy.
My apologies.
Questions later, then. The toast. Here's to the Starship Enterprise.
Alert.
What could this be?
A conspiracy, if you ask me, Captain.
Let me pull this up on screen. They've destroyed my camera. Well, let's see how they deal with our other security systems.
Oh.
He's dead.
Well, I thought that guy was the villain.
Well, he could still be, but...
Captain, I don't know what we could possibly use these for.
You could drink them.
The decanter is nearly full.
Oh, good.
No, I don't think that's necessary.
I don't understand what you want me to do, Captain.
Yes, very impressive.
No, I don't think that's necessary. No, I don't think that's necessary.
He just needs a little hair of the
No,
dog.
I don't think that's necessary. No, I don't think that's necessary. No, I don't think that's necessary. No, I don't think that's necessary.
Oh, man, that would have been amazing if you'd stuck it in that upraised gauntlet so it looked like the knight was drinking it.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah.
Now we know that we'll
Yes,
wander around that area for a while. For like, what are we supposed to be doing? What's happening now?
And then all of a sudden we'll come back here and watch some security footage.
I think it's interesting that they are involving the other cast members in kind of like this weird way of like, well, you're taking these people down to the planet this time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to see Chekhov, Scotty, and Sulu get a little bit of time as like actors in the show. It'd be cool if we could see Uhura come on one too.
Yeah, because she seems to be doing the best job as a voice actor.
Yeah, she's doing like really well. But, all we ever hear from her is, message from Starfleet.
Yep.
Which is a bummer.
Alright, well, we'll either probably wrap this up in another go or be so frustrated with the next one that we'll have to break up into 2 parts, but it's getting close at least.
Yep, almost done with Star Trek Judgment.